Merry Christmas, everybody. How's it going? We're here, we're live, we're going, we're moving, we're kind of scrambling a little bit. In fact, I am immediately gonna have to shove my head off the side of the screen and finish taking my meds that I'm a little bit behind schedule on. I stopped on the way out of the shower that I started a few minutes later than usual to make myself some waffles, and then I ate those waffles, and then it was time to start the stream, and I still hadn't fully tidied up the tent, and yes, I slept in a bit this morning is what I'm trying to say. Had a bit of a marathon stream yesterday. A marathon for me and my broken body. We oh, I just spilled some of that. Not enough to re-pour it, I don't think. But 4.5 hours is pretty good for us. That is outside of the standard realm of possibility generally. We normally kind of max out around 3 or so. Maybe we're just getting better. Maybe we're just, getting healthier, getting good. But we'll see. We'll see how many spoons are in the drawer this morning. Oh, I forgot to put caffeine in this. I don't have any in my juice that I normally mix my caffeine with. So I've got to take it with a bit of water. And if I don't take my caffeine, I get migraines. So this stuff does tend to make my throat itch a bit when I take it. Oop. What did I just open? Something. I don't know. Oh, I need to close, quick. Let's exit out a barrier. I don't need to be doing things on the laptop while Delilah's using it accidentally. Okay, there. I need to scrub this out already. Bong? What was that? Well, what are we doing today? Apparently my handset tripod is sliding down its pole. We never did finish cutting through that beam. Oh, I should log that medicine I just took. And there's another one. Oops. Pardon-moi. All the other medicines are up as well. burned through this pouch. I was kind of puffing a little bit hard. Go. Alrighty, and one of these. Oops, wrong button. Bow. Thrilling content as you watch me try to unclog this thing. There we go, finally. Restart the cycle. Darn. Alright. Alrighty. All of that irrelevance to your interests out of the way. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe some of you are here to listen to me ramble about my long COVID problems. But I won't assume so. My assumption is you're here for saw dancing. Maybe we'll work our way up to that. Thermostat down a few degrees. There we go. All right. Oh man, I think sawdust got in this ashtray. And now the tobacco I'm picking out of it is making me ill. Let's not smoke that then. For now. Oh, I didn't post the music link. I guess I should do that. I'm using the same one I have been. Oh, let's see. We have this labeled as makers and crafting. I guess we should make or craft something. I'm not sure what exactly. Shirt pocket with this shirt. Ah! Okay. I am once again starting the stream in the midst of the brain fogs. Okay, good. I do still have money for a pouch of tobacco. What is on my phone? Heck, while I'm wiping screens off with ISO, let's hit this one. What about the lens? Beep, beep, beep. There you go. Should be clean too. That thing did have a ton of dust on it. I accidentally touched the top of the speakers in a way that turned on their silly, glowy, color-changing gamer lights. Which, like, they look fine. I don't think they're, like, too ugly or anything. It's just having colored lights changing always distracts me. Makes me think there's, like, an alarm going on. Alright. Now, unfortunately, let's see, much of the things I need to do are not really stream content, but let's see what we have going on. I've got a touch of the old headache here. I think I'm gonna take an ibuprofen. And hopefully that'll do it without having to go full Imitrex. Because the Imitrex always makes me all queasy and nauseous and dizzy and fuzzed out, and I mean it kills the migraines, but it makes me useless for an hour or two. Updates after our marathon stream yesterday, when I signed off, our package had arrived with our spoke shaves in it. Check these neat things out. Here, we got another one right here. This one's still in the packaging. This one came in a box. This one came in a blister pack. I don't know why they're different. This one's an inch longer, an inch wider than this one. So we got a 9 3/4, and this one is, I think, 10 3/4. I think it was exactly an inch wider. I threw the box away, of course. I could look at the listing, I guess. It doesn't really matter. But I was messing around with the beam, so I went for the bigger one. Just trying to smooth it down. It also came with this little block plane, and I haven't been able to get this thing to work worth a darn. It's practically useless, I think. Maybe I can tune it up and get it working. The wedge that came with it is just, I mean, it's got a huge angle on it. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, because with the spoke shaves, you can set them up where your blade is on an angle. So you've got it wide at one end and thin at the other. And then depending on how much you want to take off of the spoke you're shaving, you move it side to side. I'm using this basically as a plane, just trying to take the outer layer off of these beams that's got all that, you know, color on it and whatnot, smooth it out a bit. So I do have it set pretty level, but this is not the way you would normally use a spoke shave. It's more for, you know, manually carving down, you know, a spoke. Maybe I'll open this one and set this one up side to side. I'll keep this one set up as a plane and have this one up for spoke shaving. I might shave the legs on the bench. I was just gonna cut them square and then just leave them like that. Have it left with a little rough appearance, but I might, maybe I'll, now that I've got the spoke shaves, I might shave the legs down before I install them, give them a nice rounded appearance. The option is there now. It's a possibility. Here, we'll open this one up. Tough 44 millimeter carbon steel blades, blade hardness 50 to 60 HRC, comfortable contoured handles, corrosion resistant epoxy coating. Yep. They came with some spare blades for each of them. This is the actually, it's each of these packages I think is one big and one small. Yeah. So there's two spare blades for each. Cool beans. It's a little odd that they come in little mixed packs of, you know, two of each, one of each size, but oh well. Where do I want to put the big side on? I probably want the small side on the right, so I want this side screwdriver. Goodness, all this scrap wood is on top of my screwdriver box. Blanc. ISO bottle, back where you belong. On the table. I suppose I could stand a bit. Let's swing this up, swing this back, maybe. I'm gonna have to. There we go. Now I can almost slide back. There we go. Get that out of the way for the most part. I did actually get hold on. I'm gonna screw around with my OBS and give you guys. I got the OBS, it's camera, iPhone camera thing set up again. so it will at least run. Oh, before I do that though, I gotta take this out of the case. This thing always overheats when you use it as a video camera over USB. That's why we have the little there, we'll plug you in here. We've got this little Peltier cooler we use. It's also got glowy gamer lights, but it does actually, this little magnetic surface on the back does get cold. It's actually a little, you know, air conditioner unit in there, surprisingly. All right, put that about there. Hopefully that doesn't pop out of the clamp. Yeah, hello. That. There we go. We can try to set up a desk cam, I guess. Maybe we should take this up a bit and point it down. It does kind of put my other handset in an awkward position. I could move that, I guess. If I'm gonna mess around with the setup, I might as well mess around with the setup, you know? Anyways, let's bend this arm. Here, okay, let's go ahead and turn this on. Here. Oh, I unplugged it. That's why it's not working. There we go. Okay. News to alright. Cam 2. Oh wait. No wait. I do need to mess with it. Actually, I guess I could do it. Hold on. And then go back over to here. And then do it on this layer. Okay. Okay. It's at least on the screen now. Let's try to get a good angle on what's of course I do this while I've got all sorts of mess on here. mess everywhere. Okay. Is this useful? Is this good? I don't know. Scooch over this way a bit. Bring this around. Bam. That'll do. I don't think we're gonna be messing with this right now. These things make such a mess. I was fooling around with them on the beam last night. Oh, chat activity, links, blah, blah, blah. There's the Discord link. Oh, there's the Throne link. Oh, there's the Ko-fi link. Oh, there's the Cash App link. Oh, and there's the YouTube link. Ooh. All right. Do we want to get back to trying to work on the ship some? Should I pull that out? I need a wall of pegboard somewhere to hang up a bunch of stuff, and I don't have tool storage capacity in any sort of appropriate way. Alrighty. Oh man, my head. My brother's kids are fighting over there. Man, my lips are really chapped. It's been so damn dry in here. Oh, I really need to get that humidifier on the wish list somehow. I'm gonna... We gotta do some humidity remediation real quick. Oh! Let's set that there for get a hot plate out. get some more isopropyl. Oof. Boy, this is not working. It's slipping out of the thing. All right. Enough of that mess. We give up on the second camera crap. I hate this damn iPhone. It's such a pain. Like, if I could just keep it in its case, it would stay in the clamp. But because when I use it as a camera, it overheats. I have to take it out of its case and put the little cooling fan on it. And so, yeah. Useless ass phone. Where'd that go? Here. There. We're just gonna boil some darn water to try to get the humidity up in here, because my whole skin, mouth, nose situation is suffering from the ridiculous dryness. Set you up there. Oh. What am I doing? My brain just kind of checked out there. This is probably gonna make me ill, but I need some nicotine. Really need to go to the store, get some tobacco. What's this? Oh. Sawed off. Try to get that temperature up, get a cleaner combustion. All right. Where did I put the pox? Yesterday. Did I pack it away? I think I did. I know what we need to do. We need to clean these damn fans. These fans are all full of dust and they're fucking me all up.
Oh. Yeah. Cleaning out all the dust. It's all full of dust that triggers my autoimmune disorder. It's also got a bunch of hair and string and stuff stuck to the spindle. Kind of cleaning it out. Merry Christmas! Trying to cut all of this gunk off the spindle. I'm in a tent. It's because, try as I might, it's hard to keep the dust and dirt out of here with only a flap of cloth for a door. Granted, I probably should have given it a proper cleaning a bit sooner than I have, but it doesn't take long to build up a good coating in here. Just the natural dust from the outdoors coming in. I've got a filter on this bigger fan over here trying to keep the air filtered as best I can, but it's a losing battle constantly. Yeah, this is the fan I normally have pointed up at the ceiling to keep the air like circulating in a vertical fashion. It's looking a lot cleaner. We're definitely getting there. A bit tedious having to, shove a bit of paper towel in each one of these little slats, but I don't have a air compressor or anything like, or a turbo fan or anything like that to blow the dust out. If I had an air compressor, I'd just stick it out the door and hit it with a psh, 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 blow it out, be done in 30 seconds. But we gotta do it the old-fashioned way. That part's looking pretty much good enough. Let's just get this. Whoop! It's not drop. Open eyes. I mean, an air compressor has a billion uses. They're mostly used to like drive pneumatic tools and things like that. Like, I really want to get an air compressor to for one, to drive an airbrush for painting, and also a pneumatic hammer for the blacksmithing we're starting to do. But there's practically every tool under the sun has a pneumatic variety that you can drive with an air compressor. It's how a large variety of construction tools. Yeah, we're starting to do blacksmithing. Here, I'll show you some of our stuff here. Let's set this aside for a minute. Here's our little anvil. Scooch back some. This is our anvil we just got. Haven't even really struck anything on it yet. We got our blacksmith's hammer here. I'm working on building a workbench. I've got some fire bricks. I'm starting to build a forge. Alright. Hold on. Let me finish this off real quick. I'll take this mask off. Alright, there. That's good enough. Let's okay. Okay. Let's let the fan with the filter run for a minute on high. And then I can take this mask off. Theoretically.
Let's see if I survive. Thank you, Copeland. Whew. I don't know if the air really had enough time to filter. I probably rushed it a bit there. I'm hitting the fog pretty hard. Let me look at my medicine schedule. What are we at? Oh, it's time for one of these at least. Oh, coming up on time for the painkiller herbs too. I can feel my lips burning. I can feel like the psychiatric changes that happen when the inflammation starts in my nervous system. It's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of like a neural pressure. It's kind of hard to describe. When I first got the long COVID, it was real intense. It felt like I was like coming up on like MDMA or acid or something, that like kind of like buzzy feeling you get when you're getting really high. But it's calmed down a lot over the last year or so. Like I've had long COVID for like 2.5, 3 years. I was in like the early phases of the pandemic when I caught it. And yeah, over the last year or so, it doesn't feel quite as intense and like edgy, but I can still like feel when I start having a flare. Like I've kind of got like several different qualities of flare. Like I've got these sort of flares where I can feel it on my lips, I can feel it in my brain. It'll also start like making my joints ache and be kind of stiff. But I've also got like localized flares where if I like reach down and touch this dirty floor of the tent with an ungloved hand and get dirt all over my hand, the joints in my hand will all stiffen up and the skin can like start burning and itching and stuff like that. But it doesn't have like the psychiatric effects, at least not initially. If I get a ton of crap all over my skin, it can start building up into a generalized flare. But yeah. And I also have things that I react to that just set off my migraines. Things I'll eat that I'll immediately start having a migraine. This thing is clogged as heck again. But yeah, I get the burning lips, the brain fog, lethargy, I get all these sores on my skin all over. I don't know if you can see them right now. The side of my nose is all tore up. I grow these papules under my skin that are like these little painful like packets of like gritty like sand sort of stuff. And I gotta dig them out because they're incredibly painful until you get them out of your skin. I'm puttering my way through a stream right now. There we go. Now, let's get gloves. All right, let's reassemble this thing. I shouldn't need the respirator for that, I don't think. Once we get this back together and turned back on, the air conditioner should stop thrashing on and off quite so much, because we'll have a much better homogenized mixture of temperatures in the tent. We've got a pretty strong vertical thermal gradient right now, because I don't have a fan blowing from the floor up. Or from the top down, I suppose. Theoretically, I could find some sort of tent ceiling fan contraption to install in here. This is, in fact, the sort of tent that does have a hook at the top. Well, not a hook. It has a little loop at the top that I have a hook in that's currently hanging a light. But we could put a ceiling fan fixture up there, I'm sure. Oh, I forgot to log that dose. Beep. Go. Oop, wrong button. Undo. There we go. Okay. The lighting in here is so terrible. It's so, like, it doesn't come across on camera because the software, like, automatically compensates for it, but it's very dark in here. I really need much brighter lighting. I do have a couple on the wish list, but they're a bit pricey because they're like, they're for my brain, not only for lighting a scene. They're those daylight therapy lamps. Because the darkness in here gives me the sads. Being in the darkness all day. I used to be that way when I was younger. I didn't mind spending all of my time in a dark room lit up with glowy computer components and, you know, staying up hacking until the wee hours of the day. But, the darkness gets to me these days. Oh, that's right. This needs to go on. Yeah, let's see about this. This goes in that group. This one goes there. Ah. Okay, I guess we're gonna do one of these one at a time. Yeah, that was quite a long time ago for me. I gave up being a computer person in like my late teens, early 20s. But I used to be all about it. I grew up around computers. My dad was a computer dinosaur. It's a little janky for some reason. I'm not sure why. They just need to be tight. Maybe they'll be a bit quieter after I put these on. Oh well. It works. Let's go plug you in. Ugh. There we go. All right. Woo, I'm dizzy. Alrighty. The temperature should normalize in here now. I got it sitting right over there. I think I might be my imagination, but I swear it's blowing stronger than before I took all that crap off the spindle. I can feel the cool breeze. Oh yeah, the air conditioner just cut off. There we go. We'll call this a success. Heck, the heat might turn on in a second. Because there was a cold layer building up on the bottom. Woo! That is Yep. Oh, it's medicine time. Let's deal with that. What? Do this right here. Come on, turn on. Alright. Water bottle. Whoop. Bong. That was smoother than me. Drop my little measuring tray. Well, I was reaching for the caffeine. Let's reset this. Oop, wrong lid. All right. So log that in the old thing. Beep. All right. Oh. Sod off Medicaid scams. Haha, nervous hair commented, wind break, break, wind. This is just a pipe tobacco. It's just my little wooden tobacco pipe with the little lizard on it. I did smoke cigarettes in my youth, and I had occasionally smoked pipes when I was younger, but then I switched to vapes for a long time. And after like a decade of vaping, I was a real early adopter of vaping. I was one of the first people doing the e-cigs. And I eventually just tapered the nicotine content down and quit entirely. And then I got long COVID and discovered that nicotine helps purge your acetylcholine receptors of the spike proteins. I think it's either it's purging the acetylcholine receptors of spike proteins, or it's doing something to modulate the affinity of your acetylcholine receptors with your natural neurotransmitters because of the damage that was done to them by COVID. I'm not sure exactly what the mechanism is, but I do know that nicotine helps me think better. Like, it helps clear out brain fog to a big degree, and helps reduce my other symptoms from flaring and stuff. So I started actually back on nicotine with the patches, but they really irritated my skin, and so I ended up switching over to pipe tobacco. I found that just a straight Cavendish pipe tobacco tends to work perfectly fine. Generally, as long as I have fresh tobacco. I'm on a ashtray tobacco right here. I ran out of my last pouch this morning and scooped this up out of the ashtray, so it's got some combustion byproducts in it, which tends to flare me up a little bit, but it's still better than going without nicotine and also having the nicotine withdrawal at the same time, which is the whole thing. So I need to walk up to the shops and get another pouch of nicotine. Pouch of the old Captain Black Stark. The stuff I was taking before is kratom. It's a pain-killing herb. I take that for my kidney pain. I gotta take that every 2 hours in what is, by most kratom user standards, a relatively small dose, but my metabolism, the way it processes it, I gotta do it in small doses every 2 hours instead of most people would take like a bigger dose, like after like 6 hours or something like that. But yeah, I've got all my meds in timers on my old handset here, and on reminders to tell me when to take them. Because otherwise I definitely lose track and then start feeling like hell and get the brain fog building up and can't figure out why I feel like hell in the time, even if it becomes obvious later. So I've got to have schedules going to remind me of all this stuff. So you'll see me kind of veer up and down in functionality. Sometimes I'm really clear and coherent and with it and, you know, firing on all cylinders. And sometimes I'm really spaced out and just kind of staring off and, like, not able to focus on what I'm doing, knocking stuff over or whatever. Like, probably means it's nearing time I take some of my meds, or I'm out of some of them because I can't afford them because all this stuff is expensive and not covered by Medicaid. But yeah, so that's the basic rundown. It's like $100 in medical expenses every week. And that's not including, like, anything else. Yeah, I'm trying to get better about having structure for everything, you know? Like, yeah. My little notebook here that I write things I do in. My task list. Whenever I come up with a notion that I need to do something, I try to write it down in my little checklist here. But I don't really do this as like a daily to-do list. I'll write a combination of things I kind of want to do today and things that I just kind of want to get done whenever. And we'll just kind of flip through the recent days. Because if I made it a this is the stuff I need to accomplish today, I'd be constantly failing on it and getting mad at myself. So I try not to be too strict about it, but I do put a date for, you know, to keep track of when I decided to add something into it, you know? And yeah. But I've got, like, you know, little projects with subheadings and things like that. Oh, speaking of which, well, we cleaned one of the fans. We didn't clean the other one. I do want to clean that second fan too. But we can make that apparent in the list. We can do a 1 out of 2 or whatever. Here, we'll do fan 1 and fan number 2, and we'll put the check mark by number 1. Okay. Oh, really? I always think my handwriting is rather scribbly. I guess I've been doing a bit more writing over the last, like, when did I start doing this? April 21st is when I started using this list. So, yeah. And I have been working on making some checklists for things like, you know, things I have to do every day, and like things for like a checklist for when I do a stream, so that way I stop forgetting to do things like export the VOD or, you know, set the new stream title, things like that. I haven't implemented those yet. I've got them open in a text file, and that's one of the things I was just working on, that I just added. Actually, I've had that on this list for a while, but I've been trying to, like, work my way towards it. When did I add the checklists to the list? Here it is. 10:13. So, yeah, it's been a while. But it's been kind of... I got bogged down on it because I was trying to figure out how to tile it on a printed out piece of paper so I could make like little booklets and keep track of them all. And then I got frustrated messing around with software, and so I put the whole thing aside for a while. But I just came back to it like yesterday, and today I've been working on it again. But yeah, we were we're working on getting our forge set up. Oh, here is this, that video. Yeah. Here, I can I'll play the video of me putting together the windbreak. Why is that so small? Thank you for the follow. I'm not sure why the text is so small on the notification. But here, let's see if this works. Oh, and this is up on the YouTube channel, and I'm starting to try exporting all the VODs to the YouTube as well, so there's the link to the YouTube in the chat. I'm gonna try to start doing more little videos like this and some more silly things. We're working towards building up towards a practical effects shop where I'm gonna be making puppets and doing little videos and stuff. If I didn't want to destroy the end of those, I would have used a block to knock them into the ground instead of just hammering right on them. Oh yeah, follow us on Blue Sky. Boop, there's a link to that. And the Discord. Boop, there's a link to the Discord. I didn't even end up using that drill. I didn't have the right bit to take those wood screws out that I was trying to get out of that board. So I ended up having to go back in the tent and get a screwdriver. This might have hit a little better if I put some more annotations in it, but I kind of edited it when I was in a bit of a manic phase, and then I didn't feel like messing with it more. My ex-girlfriend gave that jacket to me. It was hers, but it fit me better than her, so she just let me keep it. Gotta take care of your tools so your tools take care of you. Clean up after yourself. All right, we're gonna take a break for now. Made a good amount of progress. We're gonna cut this up and turn it into our initial thermal reflective bit. Well, not initial. The immediate part is gonna be the forge bricks we got, but then this will go around it. We might try to bend this in a little bit after we cut a section out, or just cut a section out the front and build something inside of there. The feet need a little bit of reworking, reattaching maybe, but we're making progress. Alrighty, until next time. There we go. Ta-da! So, yep, that's right over here on the other side of the wall of the tent here. The opposite side of that fence is like a path with a public park. I figure we set the forge up there. I can be sitting there doing blacksmithing. People walking down the path gives like some local advertising, you know, people start talking about the guy that does blacksmithing at the park, you know, and but I'm not technically in the park, so they can't complain at me about being in the park. I'm in my family's yard next to the park. Oh, let's turn the music back on. There we go. But yeah, I really lucked out with that jacket. That was Delilah's mom's jacket, and she gave it to me when like shortly after we started dating. She was like, "That fits you so much better than me. Just have it." Oh. Tidy up, tidy up. Put things away as we finish with them. Yeah, it's leather. It's just starting to like wear out. It's starting to do the whole, you know, fraying apart thing at the collar and whatnot. I mean, I kind of like the effect of a nice worn out old leather jacket. I'm thinking about getting some leather and just here, I'll grab it. I'm thinking about, you see how the collar is like splitting apart? I'm thinking about getting another piece of leather to run like underneath inside of there and just keep like adding layers of leather to reinforce it so it doesn't like actually fall apart, but it'll just like build up like a ruff of like, you know, falling apart leather over the years. It'll like grow. That's the only worn out leather one I have. I have another leather jacket, but it's not really of a style that I ever wear. Is it here or is it in the storage bin? I think that one might be in the storage bin. I've got another one that's like a country western cowboy sort of coat, but not like a real cowboy sort of coat, like a 1990s stadium rock cowboy, where it's got just an insane amount of tassels all over it, drooping down all over the place. It's a completely impractical coat, but it would be great for a goofy, like, you know, low-class redneck from the 90s character. I've got a few bits of clothes that are just basically character outfits. Actually, I've got quite a lot, but only a few with me here in the tent. A lot of that stuff is still stuck in the storage bin, unfortunately. But most of that stuff needs to be washed up. It needs to be dry cleaned, and I haven't had, you know, the spare time and money to get that done. I do have my old jean jacket. This is my jean jacket. This was originally my dad's jean jacket in the 60s. And then he gave it to me, and I punkified the hell out of it when I was a teenager. Put all these lighter clips and safety pins and studs and big old anarchy sign and, you know, the grenade and whatnot. I never did finish outlining that in the studs. But yeah, this was my jacket when I was doing the homeless punk kid hitchhiking around the country thing. I put a lot of miles on this jacket, as you can tell by the wore out elbows and the cuffs just absolutely roughed up. This doesn't really fit me too well, but it kind of fits Delilah. They wear it sometimes. But yeah, this jacket has a lot of miles on it, and a long provenance for a jean jacket. They don't normally live this long. I need to reinforce it, like put some patches on the elbows and maybe fix up the cuffs a little bit so it doesn't completely fall apart, and then get it a good I don't know if you should really wash a jacket like this. I feel like the dirt's kind of part of it, but I can't really wear it because of the dirt on it. It irritates my skin now. But I might have to get it dry cleaned if I want to wear it. Yeah, I could try hand washing it, or I could get it dry cleaned, which should also be relatively safe for it. But boy, it's got quite the patina up there, especially like inside the neck. That is some dirt. I think before I punkified this, I wore this jacket to Africa when I was like 15. Man, that trip to Africa was wild. All sorts of stuff happened. I had an allergic reaction to my anti-malaria medication, and we had to find me a doctor and get a prescription for a different type of medicine. We got trapped out in the middle of the desert because of a flood. Well, let's assign blame where it's due. Our driver didn't think to remove the air filter from our broke down old Toyota van when we had to fjord across a stream, because in the parts of Burkina Faso and surrounding countries, we kind of wandered out across the borders a few times into the surrounding areas. But like, since they only have a limited wet season, they don't really build bridges along a lot of the creek beds. They just build concrete fjords that go down and across the bottom and then back up. And during the rainy season, you either just don't go that way, or you pull your air filters and anything else that can't get wet out of the bottom of your vehicle, pile it up on top, and push the thing through. And we did that, and the driver forgot to take the air filter out. So our air filter was soaked through, and we got trapped out there for a day because the air filter got all choked full of river muck, you know? That was fun. What else? Let's see. I saw Muammar Gaddafi on the 4th of July. He was in a parade with the I think it was the mayor of Ouagadougou. He was going past with, and we all got to wave at Muammar Gaddafi that on the 4th of July. That was fun. Like, oh hey, our country wants to kill that guy. Let's see. What else? Oh, the elephant incident. That was a big one. We went off on, a safari or whatever. We paid somebody to take us out and show us a bunch of animals. And we ended up finding some elephants, and we're all getting out of the truck, and we're all going over and we're looking at the elephants. We're all pointing and looking through our binoculars and taking videos and all that sort of stuff. My dad had, the 1990s JVC little silver brick video camera that he was all proud of that we had just gotten. And we're like watching the elephants, and then all of a sudden we realize they're like coming towards us. And my dad turns to ask the guide, be like, hey, should we move? And we realize the guide is like 50 yards back towards the truck. He is running. He didn't say nothing. He just started booking it, and none of us realized it for like first 15 seconds. And we're like, oh shit, we gotta go. The elephants were like coming towards us. But I mean, it all worked out okay. We made it back to the truck, and he threw it into drive, and we peeled out of there and left the elephants alone. But that was funny. Exciting in the moment to realize, oh, this guy has just left us. All right, screw these people. I gotta get out of here. I mean, we probably deserved it. I mean, like I said, I was like 15. I was essentially dragged along on this expedition. I don't know I can't really say to what exact degree of white nonsense my family was up to. Ostensibly, aside from, I mean, my sister was marrying somebody from Ouagadougou, which is why we were going there. But also, theoretically, there was something about setting up a center for disabled women to have sewing jobs or something. And like on the surface that sounds okay, but now that I'm a lot older and know a lot more about those sort of like charitable endeavors and things like that, I don't know like how legit the whole thing was. But mostly I was over there to for my sister's wedding. And and my sister was the one primarily setting that whole thing up, so it might have been okay, but she worked a lot for like the UN. She speaks like, you know, a dozen languages, bounces all over the place and all sorts of stuff, but I don't know. So it could have been legit, or it could have been something that seemed legit at the time, but in hindsight, kind of cringe. I don't know. I wasn't too intimately involved in that. But we were definitely doing some white touristy nonsense, going out on those safari trips and, you know, riding around all over the place in that broken ass van. It was wild. Yeah. I wouldn't mind going back over there at some point. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, my sister and her husband are still married, and he's got a whole lot of family that's like well connected in Ouagadougou. They're like medium level wealthy, I think, in over there. Yeah, the mayor of Ouagadougou, the guy who was in the parade with Gaddafi, he came and officiated my sister's wedding. So there you go. that's a you know, where ostensibly his family is on the social hierarchy or whatever. But I don't really talk to them very often. We kind of, I mean, me and her husband have always gotten along okay, but me and my sister I've kind of upsetted her still over the whole situation with our dad passing. He was declining really bad from like Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that, and I kept trying to get the family to all come down and deal with it, and nobody came until like the very end, and that's all left me a bit pissed off at the whole family about it all, because that was when I was all going through all this COVID mess, and I was a whole lot sicker than I am now, and I was like, I had already been kind of taking care of my dad for you know, like a decade. I had been helping him out with all of his business and stuff, but then I got sick and I couldn't take care of him anymore, and I kept telling the family, you got to get down here and help me get him in a home or something, and they wouldn't do it. That, like, until like the very end, they finally come down and move him into an independent living facility when he really needed an assisted living facility, and then he immediately broke his hip, and then after the surgery he just never recovered, faded out in like a few weeks. Anyways, that's a bummer. So I don't really talk with that part of the family anymore. Actually, most of the parts of the family. Heck, I don't really talk with the family I'm camped outside of, but can't afford to exist anywhere else at the moment. There's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yep. Me and the boomers don't get along too great. The teenagers and me are essentially a separate family unit. And then there's the boomers and my brother and his youngest daughters. All right. All right. Very brief pause while I take care of some non-camera friendly bodily functions. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Forgot I had that still set as visible and it was gonna autoplay when I switched the scene back. Anyways. I'm gonna try to take a layer off here before I start doing the real physical stuff. Feeling clear enough. I think the air has filtered enough that I can start doing a bit of sawing on the beam. Try to get this workbench closer to finished. There we go. Oh, I'm caught on something. There we go. All right. At some point here, I want to make some more collars. I need to decide what color I should make them. I have... Out of the way. I have a considerable selection of options. So... I do a lot of things with purples. Purples are kind of my signature color. As you can see, I've already got 2 purple ones here and 1 white one with the leather band on the outside. I think I've got enough acetate sheet for 1 or 2 more before I need to figure out where to find another sheet of it. I mean, I know where I can find another sheet of it. It just seems a bit silly to buy it that way, because where I bought the acetate sheet for these ones is I took it off of a 5-star compositional notebook, one of those spiral bound notebooks with the plastic cover. That material of that plastic cover is what I built this stiffness out of. Is perfect. It's got the perfect amount of flexibility and rigidity, but I don't know how to order that online quite. But it seems silly to buy entire notebooks just to take the cover off and cut them. But yeah, we could do a blue. What blues do we have? We've got this light blue, this medium blue, and this really dark blue. But I don't think we're gonna mess around with that at this exact moment. I just popped into my head. Yeah, maybe we'll go for that. I want to build up a nice variety of options. Oh, that's what I needed to do was, I haven't done today's entries at all. That's the other little trick with the to-do list. Write down stuff you already did. That way, at the end of the day, you get a feeling of accountability. Even if you forget to write something down before you do it, you still write it anyway. Like, this morning I made a little short for the YouTube channel. And I'm gonna note that in here. Christmas sermon short. Check. Cause otherwise, I will sometimes completely forget things that I totally put a large amount of energy into at the end of the day. I'll be going to lie down and be like, man, I didn't accomplish shit. And that's entirely not true. My brain is just... So I try to take note of things that I do, even if I didn't need to note them down to do them. Alright. That's handled. Okay. Yep. Alright. Moving on. Put these screwdrivers away. Sit up there for right now. These don't really want to fit in that box. I need to find a better place to store these. I need to find a better place to store a lot of things. Basically all of the things. I don't have tool storage for the tools that I own. I'm gonna try to work on that. It's a known issue. I need to get some lumber, steel. I need all sorts of stuff. This was our emergency heat and humidifier. Boil some water to try to save my chapped lips. Kind of helped, I think. Check the yeah. It's time for one of these. Or at least close enough to time. Woo. Oh man, the headache just never really completely went away today. Probably didn't help myself by kicking up all that dust. Okay, well, I think we're hitting about the 3-hour mark here. And as much as I really want to just slide on into sawing on this beam some more, and if the metrics on the VOD from yesterday are any indication, people want me to do that. I got a bit silly yesterday sawing on the beam. But I got some other things I need to accomplish today. Returning to the book, as it were. Yeah, here, I'll at least pull it up so you can see what I'm talking about. Ooh, let me close this up before I knock it over. I got some stuff stacked on it. Let's move the anvil and this. So, quick. This here is going to be the top beam for my new workbench. I'm building a semi-Chinese style workbench. It's going to be a low bench, but I'm going to gaudily tack a Western style vise on the end of it because I have a Western style vise and I'm going to gaudily tack it onto my workbench. But it is going to be mostly a Chinese style workbench. And I'm working on cutting this beam down. I've been sawing on it. You can see the cut here. I've been going from both ends, following. You can see over here this kerf. I cut these kerfs on this beam. I just made a little homemade kerfing plane where I stuck a saw blade into this block of scrap wood at the distance from the edge that I wanted. I wanted a 3/4 of an inch, gap from each side where I was going to cut this to get the core of the beam out. Because this is reclaimed wood I got from an old decommissioned sign at the public park. So I'm trying to take these edges off where the worst of the splitting and all of that, the decomposition and whatnot is, because these were kind of laying on their side in the park for a number of years. So I'm cutting my way down, taking these two faces completely off. I'm just doing a long recut all the way down both sides. And my saws are dull. I don't have any files to sharpen them. I don't have a center punch to reset them. So it's taking forever. And this wood is not dry because I pulled it out of a public park. So it's very difficult to cut. So it's taking us a while, but I mean, we're getting there. But it's a long process. And now that I do have my spoke shaves I can use to plane it down relatively smooth, I want to get this done so we can get this bench built. Because not having a solid surface to work on is driving me crazy. All of the furniture in here right now is, you know, Amazon, basically. It's Amazon quality or level. Some of it's older than Amazon, but it's like folding card tables still. You know, it's we don't have any sturdy, solid surfaces to hammer and saw and, you know, at a reasonable height. I'm having to do a lot of work like on the floor, and when I'm allergic to all the dirt that I can't keep out of the floor because I'm in a tent, it's a problem. So we're building a workbench to get us, you know, a bit off the floor and have something big, heavy, and solid to work upon. After that, after the workbench, we're gonna set it up so the anvil can just sit on top of the workbench, but I'm also thinking about making a separate block out by the forge that I drive like really deep, like dig a like 3-foot hole into the ground and set it in on like a vertical beam to have a really solid block for the anvil over by the forge. I'll still want a way to like slot it into place on this workbench, so, or like bolt it down or something so I can take it with me and, you know, do cold forging and things like that away from the forge. But yeah, I think I want to make a nice deep block set in the ground over by the forge over there. Anyways, this is the beam. It's gonna be a workbench. I've got another beam of the same dimensions but slightly shorter from the same sign that I'm gonna make the legs out of. That has a bit more rot along one side. I might have to cut the legs down a bit smaller. We'll see how we figure out what we can cut out of that. But yeah, we are most of the way there on this side and haven't even started on this side. But once I get one face cut, then we can smooth it down with spoke shaves. Aren't really supposed to be used like planes, but it was an option. That it did actually come with a little block plane that I didn't realize was quite this small, and also is basically useless. But the spoke shaves are fine. I can set these with a straight edge and use them to plane. For this purpose, it'll be okay. It'll work well enough, kind of. Having to saw through this thing with a dull saw, though, is really getting to me. I need to get some files, but I have a hard time deciding what. I guess I should just go bite the bullet and buy some crappy, cheap files just to get by with initially. Everybody says all the files you can buy new these days are garbage, but trying to figure out some vintage files to buy. Yeah. It's not the sort of thing you can easily just put on the throne wish list. So, speaking of which, blah, 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 let's blast all our links in that there chat there, blah, 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 blah. Oh, come on thing there. Post the button. There's the Discord, link to the Discord where we talk all the time. And there's the throne where there is a wish list with lots of things on it. And there's the Ko-fi where you can sign up as a membership to see the secret channels in the Discord where things in progress are posted about. and the Cash App for straight cash tips, the YouTube where we post things and videos and such, and the Blue Sky, which I am posting on less these days because the mods have pissed us all off. That's a long story. Anyways, those are the links. That's the story. Praise God and his glory. All right, I'm out. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for our new followers. It's been lovely. I gotta go. I never got around to explaining, but I have to go help Delilah get the tarps on their tent and a few other things that I can't really do in front of a camera easily. So we're gonna end it here. We hit our nominal goal of 3 hours. It's where we try to aim for, you know. But we'll call this a success. It was a bit slow. We didn't accomplish any of the things we set out to initially, but we did accomplish something that was on the list, sort of, cleaning that fan. And a lot of talking. A lot of talking. All right. Good night.